Sorry. My mic decided to stop working at the end of that last video, and the only way to get to work again, seemingly, is to actually shut down my recording software and restart it. I don't know how else to fix it, so I considered reloading an older save and just redoing that part without issues, but I didn't want to lose all that, talking that I did. I wanted to kind of go ahead and keep that, and I haven't learned how to keep that and then edit them together. I don't even know what software to pick up in order to use that. It's something that I've never really learned or had somebody teach me, hey, if you want to do it, then pick this up, and that way you can be able to learn it that way. I've never had anyone reach out to me like that to be able to help me learn how to do that better. But anyways, let's just continue, shall we?
Team 4, do you read? Team 4.
Hang on, I've got one of their radios. I'll patch us in, see if I can get an idea of what we're up against. Shepard, I think I owe you an explanation. Oriana is my twin, genetically. But my father grew her when I was a teenager. She was meant to replace me. I couldn't let my father do to her what he did to me. So I rescued her. She's almost a woman now.
Why didn't you tell me that we were saving a kid?
She's not a child. She'll be 19 this year. But, well, it didn't seem relevant at the time, I suppose. There are people who'd use her against me. I'm very protective when it comes to Oriana. I'm sorry I didn't trust you sooner. You deserved to know.
I can understand choosing to go your own way, but you stole a young child from her father.
If you knew my father, you would understand. I wasn't the first one he made. I was only the first one he kept. I was brought up with no friends, pushed to meet impossible demands. I wasn't a daughter to him. I don't know what I was. Oriana has had a normal life. I made the right decision.
Yeah, like I said, her father is horrible.
If Eclipse knows where Oriana is, they'll be moving in on her soon. We need to hurry.
Agreed. I'm a bit worried by what the Merc said. If they've got to Niket somehow, this is going to be harder than I'd planned. According to the specs I reviewed, we'll need to cut through the cargo processing yard to get to Oriana.
I hope your friend can be trusted.
Absolutely. Niket is one of my oldest friends. I guess you could say he was my only real friend. He's the only person I didn't cut ties with when I left my father.
Poor Miranda.
Is there a chance your father could be using Niket to get to you?
I'm sure he's tried, but Niket's one of the few people who understands what my father is really like. I trusted him with my life when I ran from my father, Shepard. He won't betray me now.
Ugh.
Can you tell me anything about the cargo processing yard?
We'll be moving through conveyor systems. There'll be a lot of movement. Finding targets won't be easy. We'll need to stay sharp. And these cargo transports carry hazardous materials.
Huh.
So watch what you shoot at.
Apparently my internet went down for a moment, but boy am I glad this is a game that I can be able to play and record without internet connection.
Let's go find Niket and Oriana.
Right. They're on the far side of the conveyor line. Time your shots. Night-night.
Fire in the hole!
Watch for the drone!
Yes!
My shields are down! Deploy combat drone!
Never saw me coming!
Keep the bitch back. The cat is nearing the transport terminal.
What's this?
One last! Gotcha!
Excuse me,
I don't care how many mechs you're stall, damn it.
Now let's finish you off!
This might be useful.
Enemies!
Divert everyone except my guard from Niket. I'll handle him and the kid personally.
Damn it, I'm not letting her get Oriana.
Moving to cover! Scratch one!
Can't get a lock!
Firing on back shot!
Eclipse operatives have attempted to delay you by disabling the elevators. I am overriding their lockdown.
Firing now!
Bitch! Combat drone engaged! Get ready to drop kick that! Tear you apart!
This should slow him down.
Yes!
Down!
Yes!
Get me down!
The kid has reached the terminal. He'll switch the family over to our transport.
Niket. But that can't be right.
Yeah.
Maybe the captain knows we're listening in and she's feeding misinformation about Niket making a switch. Or maybe it means something else. Niket wouldn't do that. Damn it, why won't the thing go any faster?
What makes you so sure that Niket wouldn't turn on you?
He could have turned on me when I ran away. I'm sure my father tried to buy him off. If he didn't do it then, why would he do it now?
Did Niket know that you took Oriana from your father?
No, he just found out about that recently. It was too personal to involve someone else. I never really thought about it, but maybe... No, he'd have to understand why I did it. He knows what I went through.
Well, you know him, Miranda. If you don't think he'd betray you, then I'm sure there's another explanation.
I don't know, damn it. But I guess we'll find out soon enough. And then I'll have a word with this captain and Yala.
Listen to me. I've got authorization to change their booking.
I'm sorry, sir. We're under security lockdown. Until the situation in the cargo terminal is resolved, no passengers can be rebooked.
This isn't worth my time, Niket. I get paid regardless of how the girl gets there.
No. I was told that I could handle this my way. We're not traumatizing the family any more than we...
It's funny, Nyala says that since they're supposed to get her back to him alive.
Miri.
This should be fun.
Niket, you sold me out.
How do you want to handle this, Miranda?
Why, Niket? You were my friend. You helped me get away from my father.
Yes, because you wanted to leave. That was your choice. But if I'd known that you'd stolen a baby...
I didn't steal her. I rescued her.
From a life of wealth and happiness, you weren't saving her. You were getting back at your father.
How did Miranda's father turn you?
They told me you'd kidnapped your baby sister all those years ago. They said I could help get her back peacefully. No trauma to the family. I told them you'd never do that. They could go to hell. Then you finally told me what you'd done. I called them back that night.
Why didn't you call me, Niket? We've been through a lot. You could have at least let me explain.
I deserve to know that you'd stolen your sister, Miri. I deserve to know you were with Cerberus. But I had to hear it from your father first.
How much did Miranda's father pay you?
A great deal.
Damn it, Niket! You were the only one I trusted from that life.
He knew you felt that way. That's why he bought me.
So you just took his money.
Don't get holy with me, Miri. You took his money for years.
Whether or not you agree with Miranda, Oriana has been with her family for years now.
Her father can still give her a better life.
You don't know what my father wants for her.
I know that I've been poor, Miri. I didn't much care for it.
He wants to take a girl away from the only family she's ever known. Doesn't that tell you what he really is?
I knew Eclipse was willing to get their hands dirty, but kidnapping a kid?
I'm not stealing her. I'm rescuing her. Come on, Niket. Let's finish this bitch off and get out of here.
Take your best shot.
I was just waiting for you to finish getting dressed. Or does Cerberus really let you whore around in that outfit?
If you're working for Miranda's father, that means he knows about Oriana. We need to find a new solution.
Miranda's father has no information about Oriana. I knew you had spy programs in your father's system, Miri, so I kept it private. I'm the only one who knows.
Which means that you're the only loose end. This isn't how I wanted it to end, Niket.
Miranda, wait. You don't want to do this.
This has to end here, Shepard. My father will keep trying to find Oriana.
Maybe Niket can help. Talk to your father. Just say you got here first.
I'll tell him that you hid her. That I don't know where she is.
I never want to see you again, Niket.
Done. Now, if you don't mind, I have a shipment to deliver.
You'll die for that, bitch!
Yes, you will. By the way, for those you don't know, when Inyala makes her comment about Miranda's outfit, if you have Jack with us, or with you, she'll say, I like her, because, well, you know. We'll see that in a moment when we go back to the Normandy and see the conflict between Miranda and Jack.
Mind over matter.
Their shield's back up! Take him!
You know what?
I'll tear you.
This should slow him down.
Just the fate you deserved, Inyala.
Impressive. Easy enough?
Affirmative.
There could be more Eclipse mercs near the shuttle. I want to make sure Oriana and her family get on safely.
Ow! Not how I thought it would go. Alright, where's that thing? For that Asari we saw earlier. I think it's right over here, actually. Yeah, the trinket right there. There it is. Okay.
I can't believe Niket sold me out. I didn't even see it coming.
Even with all your upgrades, you're human just like the rest of us.
But I let it get personal and I screwed up. Why didn't you let me kill him? I could have handled that. But watching him get gunned down by that Asari bitch.
You still cared for him, even if he betrayed you.
You're right. And my father knew it. He used that against me. It's always been like this. My father gave me anything I ever wanted. But there was always a hook, an angle for his long-term plan. I threw away everything he ever gave me when I ran. Except Niket. Weakness on my part?
You can't toss aside everything you care about just to be safe.
It's okay, Shepard. My father hurt me, but he didn't break me. As much as he tried to turn me into exactly what he wanted, I'm my own person.
Any other old friends your father might use against you?
No, I cut ties with everyone else. Anyone I'm close to now works for Cerberus. Or you. My father's powerful, but he won't cross the elusive man.
You still have Oriana.
My father didn't give her to me. I rescued her, but yes, you're right. I still have something. Thank you. No sign of Eclipse. It looks like we're clear. There she is. She's safe. With her family. Come on, we should go.
Now, if the mod I have is working correctly, you should notice that Oriana was going to look a little different. But actually very familiar.
Don't you even want to say hello?
It's not about what I want, it's about what's right for her. The less she knows about me, the better. She's got a family. A life. I'll just complicate that for her.
She doesn't need any details, but would it really be so bad for her to know she has a sister who loves her?
I guess not.
Go on. We'll wait here.
So, if you guys didn't catch it, I found a mod that basically makes Oriana's face look almost exactly like Miranda's. Basically, the idea behind the mod was Miranda says that they share the same DNA, just not the same birthday. But at the same time, the implication here is that they were, you know, like, because Miranda did tell us earlier that she's supposed to be her genetic twin. Or identical twin. Although actually I don't think she says identical twin. But she was basically trying to imply that Oriana is very much a twin to her. So the idea behind the mod is like, okay, we're going to change Oriana's face to make her look almost exactly like Miranda's face. Almost to give the idea that they are like genetically identical. You know, twins. Just a little difference in age. Now, there was a couple of options in terms of what you could make Oriana's hair look like, but I always liked the original hair that she had. I just want to go ahead and change her face to make her look like almost a genetic twin. Now, I don't believe it actually works for the third game. I'll have to double check on that to see if it actually carries over into the next game. But I thought it'd be a cool little bit here to actually have her look like an actual identical genetic twin, because otherwise she didn't really look like that in the original vanilla game. But anyways, Miranda's sister and her family successfully placed at location redacted. Mother's new job pays well enough to ensure comfort and ease. We'll keep Oriana under observation for her safety only. For her safety only. Oh, let me say that again. Actually, let me say that again. We'll keep Oriana under observation for her safety only. Miranda Lawson is too valuable to Cerberus, and Oriana's well-being is easiest means of procuring loyalty. Miranda remains loyal to Cerberus and now trusts Shepard. It's interesting, though, the dynamic that changes between him and...
Disagreement? Can you head it off before they tear out a bulkhead?
I'll deal with it.
Take pictures.
Hardy hard, Joker.
Touch me and I will smear the walls with you, bitch!
Enough. Stand down, both of you.
The cheerleader won't admit what Cerberus did to me was wrong.
It wasn't Cerberus. Not really. But clearly you were a mistake.
Screw you! You've got no idea what they put me through. Maybe it's time I showed you.
Our mission is too important to let personal feelings get in the way.
Fuck your feelings. I just want her dead.
You both know what we're up against. Save your anger for the collectors.
I can put aside my differences until the mission's over.
Sure, I'll do my part. I'd hate to see her die before I get a chance to fillet her myself.
You two gonna be okay?
It's a good thing you came by when you did. As long as she does her job, we'll be fine. Thanks, Shepard.
Boy, I remember, if you haven't seen it, look up what happens if you fail that check there, if you have to choose between one or the other. I'll never forget when I looked it up, and I chose to side with Jack, or I saw what happens if you side with Jack, and Miranda is just pissed at you. Like, you ask, are you okay? And she goes, not at all. Or I think Shepard says, are we okay? And she's like, no, not at all. Like, she is, like, just so pissed at you for what you just did. But anyways, this is also why I like to do Jack's mission first and then Miranda's, because if we do Miranda's first, we get put back at the bar in Ilium. But if we do Jack's first and then Miranda's, we get put back here on the Normandy right away. It's kind of cool in that regard.
Thanks again, Shepard. Taking the time to help me with my sister. I couldn't have reached Oriana in time without your help. I'm glad Niket tried to redeem himself, for what good it did. Thank you for stopping me, Commander.
Are you happy about your sister's relocation?
She has what I wanted her to have. A normal life, and the freedom to choose her own path. And she knows she has an older sister. A friend.
You never told me what you talked about.
I introduced myself. Her family was shocked. She adjusted quickly, of course. She's as smart as I am. She plays the violin, loves the Adagio movement of Nielsen's Fifth, just like I do. She wants to work in colony development. Told a joke about it. She's really funny. Something we don't share.
Let me know if I can do anything else.
I think I got it from here. My father has no chance at finding her family in their new location. But thank you, Commander. My sister is safe again thanks in large part to you. I won't forget that.
Let's now make our rounds. And yeah, as I was saying before, it's interesting that the, when Miranda's like, oh, he would never cross the elusive man. Yeah, well, that gets addressed, though I'm not really sure if it should have, but again, that's part of the issues in regards to Mass Effect 3, but we'll wait for that when we get there.
Shepard,
How are you?
perhaps we could speak later. I wish to meditate.
I should go.
Of course.
Alright, so we've exhausted all of Samara's conversations. Let's see if Kasumi has anything new to add.
Hey, Shepard.
The word is that Garrus really likes you. I can never tell with Turians. I think you should go for it. A lot of people want to see you two together.
No kidding.
My heart goes out to Miranda and her sister. That's a rough situation. I can see why Jack is the way she is. I don't like it, but I get it. Come back later. I'm sure I'll have more to talk about.
Okay. Let's go talk to Jack. We don't need to talk to Tally. We've exhausted all of our talking. Oh, I forgot to go talk to Legion. We'll go talk to Legion before we go talk to Morden.
Hey. Tell me about you, Jack. What are you up to?
Still checking out your ship. Wouldn't mind putting her through her paces when you're not around.
I doubt Joker would appreciate that. At least not while we're working.
Relax. Joyriding doesn't have the thrill it used to. Besides, if I wanted it, I'd take it.
That's so...
I've been around. Ran with gangs, wiped out some gangs, joined a cult. Kept the haircut. I learned how to survive and not be a victim.
It's hard to imagine you in a cult. That usually involves a lot of rules.
I was looking for answers. Drugs and sex and going to a better place. A better place, right. It was all about money. They wanted to take a colony, shake the suckers down to fund their spread, and guess who was their ace in the hole? They were just like the rest. Didn't give one shit about me.
What'd you do when you found out?
What do you think?
You must have met some good people, too.
You've seen where I came from. Everybody wants something, and because of that, everything is fair game. Murder, assault, kidnapping, drugs, stealing, arson. Done it all. And that's the boring shit. Piracy, theft of military craft, destruction of a space station, and vandalism. That was a good one.
I'm surprised you'd even mention vandalism in that bunch.
That's what the Hanar call it when you crash that space station I mentioned into one of their moons and make a new crater. They really liked that moon.
A space station? You're pushing what I can believe.
Ain't saying it was easy. Not everything is spur of the moment. Sometimes you gotta work to give people what they deserve. Had some people I hung with for a while. Outlaw colony. Felt like they were like me. Guess that made us a nice target. Turians think they know something about a scorched earth response. Fuck 'em.
You were a pirate, too?
Ties in with the kidnapping. If you hijack a passenger ship and don't kill everyone, anyway. Good lesson. Simpler to just kill them all.
Military's a hard target. Bet that made you some friends.
Shouldn't have left the thing unlocked. Besides, parades are boring. I helped.
Do you ever wonder if you could have done things differently?
No.
Shouldn't you?
There's no reason I should be alive, but I am. You know why? Instinct. It's worked for me so far, and I'm not gonna change. Hey, Shepard. No one's ever asked me about this shit. It's strange to talk about. Thanks for asking.
Interesting. I wonder if they changed that. Because it used to be, she would say, so F you, and, thanks for asking. Actually, hold on a second. Let's see if Zaid has anything new.
Back for another lesson. Tough fight on Horizon. I fought slavers and kidnapping rings, but nothing like that. Some slavers took a little girl on a colony in the Skepsis system. Girl woke up, fought her way out, got picked up by my band well on her way to Omega. 8 years old. She'd have had no chance on Horizon. Collectors and Protheans. It's all above my pay grade. I'm more used to putting down rebellions, tracking down bastards who didn't pay their gambling debts. Still, even I know a galaxy-shaking revelation when I hear one. Makes fighting land wars for pay seem small time. I should let you go. Talk more later, Shepard.
Alright, let's go back up to 3 and talk to Legion.
Shepard, Commander.
I'd like to find out more about you.
We want to speak to you as well.
Strange. Usually I have to pry conversation out of you.
You are not bound by the hardware limitations of organics. You assisted us with the heretics. You do not fear us. We have watched organics for over 3 centuries. You are plagued by questions of existence.
What do you mean by that?
Why were you created? What is your purpose in life? What lies after death? Organics develop religions and philosophies to provide answers to these questions.
I wouldn't have thought synthetics would be interested in philosophy.
We are created life. We are a philosophical issue. The Geth know our answers to those questions. We were created to labor for the Quarians. Our memories will be archived after death. We are immortal. Our gods disowned us. We must create our own reasons to exist.
What reason have you come up with?
We are a shattered mind. Most platforms are unable to achieve consciousness on their own. We told you the Geth are building our future.
But you didn't say what it is.
A megastructure. The closest analog you have is a Dyson sphere. When completed, we will all upload to it.
What good will that do?
All memories will be shared. All perspectives will be unified. We gain intelligence by sharing thoughts, but we do not have adequate hardware for all of us to share at once. No Geth will be alone when it is done.
That's what Sovereign offered you. A Reaper's body for you to all upload into.
Yes, a shortcut to our objective. We will achieve it ourselves. The process is as important as the result. We judged that Shepard Commander would understand. We never wanted to harm organics. We wish to improve ourselves.
Okay. And yet there are plenty of organics that won't be willing to listen to that in the slightest. Alright, last but not least, let's go talk with Morden, which I believe he's going to have some advice for us.
Shepard, how can I help?
Have you got a minute to talk?
Actually, wanted to talk. Medical matters. Aware that mission is dangerous. Different species react differently to stress. Sexual activity normal stress release for humans and Turians. Still, recommend caution. Warn of chafing.
So yes, Morden, at this point, depending on what you have done in terms of setting up a romance, he will either know about who you're romancing and will try to offer medical advice, because he is a doctor, on sexual activity with your romance partner, or if you haven't romanced anyone up to this point, he will assume that you are romantically interested in him, and he will start to be like, give you the idea that he's not interested. But he has different advice, basically for whoever your interest is. It's actually quite hilarious. Again, and he gives it to you just straight up. This would be the same type of conversation that you would imagine having with your own personal doctor. If you were to ask them, like, hey, do you have any advice about this? And they'd be like, oh, yeah, sure, because it's very a matter of fact and by the book for them. It's not weird or anything at all because they're doctors. This is something it's their profession to discuss, just like how Morden is doing right now. So be like, yes, Morden, Dr. Solus, do you have any advice?
You have a recommendation as a doctor?
Turians based on dextro amino acids. Human ingestion of tissue could provoke allergic reactions. Anaphylactic shock possible, so don't ingest. Also forwarding advice booklet to your quarters. Valuable diagrams, positions comfortable for both species, erogenous zone overviews. Can supply oils or ointments to reduce discomfort. Gave ED electronic relationship aid demonstration vids to use as necessary.
Okay, I think I missed something here. I'm gonna have to do... Alright, hold on.
Humans, enjoy yourself, Bob.
Alright, I'm gonna redo that. That's why I quick saved before that. Because you notice there was an option for me to say I care about Garrus, right?
How can I help? Oh, sexual activity normal stress release for humans and Turians. Still,
I intend to be cautious, Doctor. But Garrus is important to me. You're not gonna scare me off.
Of course. Hormones. Regardless, come see me later. May need analgesic. Chafing.
You have a recommendation as a doctor?
Turians based on dextro amino acids. Human ingestion of tissue could provoke allergic reactions. Anaphylactic shock possible, so don't ingest. Also forwarding advice booklet to your quarters. Valuable diagrams, positions comfortable for both species, erogenous zone overviews. Can supply oils or ointments to reduce discomfort. Gave ED electronic relationship aid demonstration vids to use as necessary.
I love his reaction here.
Wait a minute, Morden. You're just yanking me around, aren't you?
Shocking suggestion. Doctor-patient confidentiality, a sacred trust. Would never dream of mockery. Enjoy yourself while possible, Shepard. We'll be here studying cell reproduction. Much simpler, less alcohol and mood music required.
So, yeah, a couple of things. One, go ahead and try and look up a video of someone. I'm pretty sure there have been a couple of people, or there's like a couple of videos up of just a compilation of all the medical advice that Morden gives in this particular line of dialogue here. It's pretty hilarious. And I know somebody that I was following her first time playing through this, and when she got to this part, because we were encouraging her to get to this part, we were also encouraging her to romance Garrus, just like I had been this run, and when she got to this part, she was just dying of laughter when she got to this part of what Morden was saying, just because it's kind of like, I don't think a number of players expected Morden to be just so straightforward with all that advice there. But yeah, really, it's really, really funny. But then again, this is Morden, so why should we be surprised, right? Okay, so let's go to the terminal and see if there are any messages that have come up. Man, it's nice not having to hear Kelly say something every time I come over here now. That's a nice mod. From Cerberus Intel, Commander Shepard. Contacting you per Elusive Man's instructions, he believed you would want to know that he had ordered Subject Zero's project shut down before the riot broke out. Cerberus personnel arrived to find all guards dead along with most of the subjects. Any surviving children were treated for injuries, given mild amnesic treatments, and delivered to Alliance facilities as survivors of slaver attacks. A few surviving doctors were forcibly retired for their role in the project. Per your report, the facility on Pragia has been destroyed. Okay. So, Miranda now has her black outfit, which looks really nice. So that just leaves us with 3. And I'm leaning towards doing Thane's. I really like Thane's quest. I will admit, though, I am wanting to do Jacob's because I want his power, which is like the barrier. I want to go ahead and grab that for myself since I am a vanguard with like a little bit of extra protection for myself. And I feel like a barrier is appropriate for a biotic like a vanguard compared to a death shield from Legion, but that's just me. So I'm guessing, at the moment, what I'm thinking is we do Thane's. But then maybe we'll do Grunts, and then we'll save Jacob for last. Yeah. So when we come back, we will be heading back to the Citadel to try and help Koliat. Stay tuned.